to the new module of chapter 3 circle. In this we are going to see the new topic, that is touching circles. Let us see the definition of touching circles so that we understand what is the meaning of touching circles. Okay, now see, if two circles in the same plane have only one point in common, then they are called as touching circles. Now circles can touch each other either internally or externally. Now you might be having a question, what is this externally and internally? So let us see this with the help of a diagram. As you can see here, the first diagram, see the two circles, they are opposite to each other. It means that they are touching each other but they are external to each other. Okay, and their point of contact is point T. Okay, that is one point in common. See, you can see the line L, it is acting as a tangent. Now tangent has got only one point, okay, that is in contact with the circle. So now this point T, we consider that point T as the point of contact of a tangent. Okay, so that is common with circle with center O and also with the circle with center P. Okay, so this point T is common to tangent and both the circles. And see the positions of the circle, they are touching each other but they are touching externally. Now what we can see is that this line O, T, P, this line, these points joining this line is straight line right from the radius through the point and through the radius. How is it so? We will see next theorem about this, but what you need to understand is how is the position of the circles touching externally. Okay, now here we can see in the second diagram that the two circles same with center O and center P are touching each other but they are touching internally. Okay, means what, the second circle, the smaller circle is within the bigger circle. Okay, so they are touching internally. Their point of contact is also same, that is point T. Okay, line L is acting as a tangent. Point T is common for both the circles and the line. Okay, but it is the condition for circles touching internally. Okay, so you need to understand this. What is the circles touching externally and what is the circles touching internally. Now with respect to this we will see the next theorem. Okay, let us see the theorem, that is theorem of touching circles. Okay, now what is the statement of the theorem says that if two circles touch each other, okay, if two circles touch each other, then their point of contact, that is what we have seen according to our diagram, point of contact lies on the line joining their centers. Okay, so we will take our previous diagrams again once again to explain this theorem. Okay, so what was our first diagram? That was that circles are touching externally. See, what is the statement says that there are circles touching each other. Okay, they have not told us whether they are touching externally or whether they are touching internally. So it doesn't matter, we are going to consider both the cases. Okay, there is theorem is one but we are going to consider both the diagrams. So suppose if we consider the first diagram where the circles are touching externally. So what is our diagram? That there is one circle with center O, there is another circle with center P, they are touching at point T and there is a tangent line L. Okay, so we will draw that O, will take T and will join P. So OT and PT, we will join this. Okay, so in the second diagram where the circles are touching internally, okay, so what you can see here is that O, then P and T. Okay, so we'll draw a line accordingly. Okay, so now let us see the theorem, how to write the theorem. Okay, so to write the theorem, as I told you, first diagram is necessary which we have already seen. Okay, so now what is the next step? Next step is given things. So according to the statement given to us, what is the statement given to us? That there are two circles touching each other. Okay, so according to our diagram, what is the given thing? That the circle with center O and with center P. Okay, so two circles, they touch each other at point T. So let us write down the given thing. Okay, now So their point of contact is T. What are you supposed to prove? That the point of contact lies on the line of their line joining their centers. Okay. So it means that point T lies on line OP according to our diagram, where we have shown that it is joining the center. So the point T lies on line OP. Okay. So for this we require a small construction. As I told you while explaining the statement, we need to join OT and PT. Okay. Whether externally or internally the circles are touching, we need to join that line. And there is a one line that is tangent line L. Okay. Which is in common with both the circle, both the conditions of the circle. Okay. So now let us write down the proof. Okay. So theorem, we'll see that line OT, okay, is perpendicular to the tangent, that is line, okay, L. Even PT is perpendicular to that line L. And with the definition of the triangle, what are we supposed to say? That there can be only one line that can be perpendicular to the circle at the point of contact. It means that if you draw line from O till P, okay, or if we comprise line from O till T, whatever it is, okay, here till the point of contact, there can be only one line. It means that it comprises of all the 3 points, whether the circles are touching externally or whether the circles are touching internally. But these 3 points comprises of one line. Okay, it means that these points O, P, T, they are collinear points. And if they are collinear points, it means that the point T lies on line OP. Okay, so like this way you have to write the statements of the theorem, but I hope you have understood the theorem. So let us see the first example of practice set 3.2. Now in this question you must have read it. They have given the radii of two circles. One is 3.5 cm and the other one is 4.8 cm. Okay, you need to find the distance between the centers of this circles touching internally. Okay, please keep this in mind that the circles are touching internally. Okay, so how to write it down? So let us see the solution of this. First let us consider that the radius of these circles is R1 and R2 respectively, where R1 is 3.5 cm and R2 is 4.8 cm. Okay, now see the circles are touching internally, but according to first theorem that we have studied now, that the points are collinear, so you will have to mention that first these points are collinear points. Okay, so I have mentioned that in my solution. The second point, I need to understand that the circles are touching internally. So the distance between the points of their centers will be equal to the difference of their radius, because they are touching internally. Okay, if you have not understood, you can go back and see the diagram how the circles touch internally and why it is a difference of the distance between them. Okay, so difference we are going to find out. So what will be the distance? It will be difference. So naturally it will be bigger minus smaller, because we are calculating distance and distance will be always positive. So R2 minus R1 in this case, that is 4.8 minus 3.5, that is equal to 1.3 centimeter. Do not forget to write the answer statement. Let's see the second example. Let us see the second example. In this again, they have given the radii of the two circles. One is 5.5 and the other one is 4.2, okay, centimeter. Now they have again asked you to find the distance, but here in this example you can see that the case is that the circles are touching externally. You just have to write exactly as the previous example, that let R1 and R2 be the radii of the two circles respectively, where R1 is 5.5 centimeter and R2 is 4.2 centimeter. Okay. Now what again? The next point will be that the points are collinear, as I have written in my solution. The points are collinear. Okay. Now what will be the distance between their centers? Now see, they are touching externally. So you are going to add up. Okay. So the distance will be equal to the sum of the distances between their centers. So naturally distance will be equal to R1 plus R2, that is 5.5 centimeter plus 4.2 centimeter, that is 9.7 centimeter. Again, do not forget to write the answer statement. So I hope that these two examples are clear to you. Third one is very easy. I think you can do it for yourself. Let's go to solve example number. Let us see the fourth example from practice set 3.2. See, in the figure, the circles with center P and Q touch each other at point R. A line passing through R meets the circles at A and B. See, like this. Passing through R. They are touching the circles at point A and B respectively. You have to prove that. First case is that AP is parallel to BQ. Okay, you have to show that AP is parallel to BQ. Second is triangle APR is similar to triangle RQB. Okay, and third one is angle RQB. You have to find this angle if PAR is given as 35 degree. Okay, so let us consider the first one that we need to solve, that we need to prove. So first one is given as, you have to prove that AP, this line AP is parallel to BQ. Now to prove that the two lines are parallel to each other, what do you require? You need to show either corresponding angle test, interior angle test, alternate angle test, and so on. Okay. So in this case, what we can use is, see, we can see that the triangles are opposite to each other. Okay, so here is one angle that we can get it. These are the radii, these are the radii. So when I find this, very easy thing what I can understand is this one. This angle B and angle A. If I show this, they form the pair of alternate angles. So if I am able to show that these two angles are congruent to each other by converse of alternate angle theorems, I can show that these lines are parallel. Okay, but to show that these two angles are congruent to each other, I need to consider certain conditions. How do I proceed this? Now suppose if I take this triangle PAR. Now in this triangle PAR, I can consider this as an isosceles triangle. Why? Because AP and PR are the radii of the same circle, so they form isosceles triangle. So these opposite angles, opposite to these sides, that is the base angles of isosceles triangles, are congruent. Okay, same way if I take this triangle QRB, this triangle, this is also an isosceles triangle and they are congruent to each other, base angles are congruent to each other. Now see this condition, they form pair of vertically opposite angles. Okay, so if these two are vertically opposite angles, it means that they are congruent to each other. Now see, this is congruent to this angle, that is angle A is congruent to angle R here. Same way angle R is congruent to angle B. So what can I say? Angle A is congruent to angle B. They form pair of alternate angles. The lines are parallel. So let us put it down this. Okay. So what first thing I need to show that P, R, Q are on the same line. So R lies between P and Q. Why? Because our theorem of touching circles. Okay. So let us write down by theorem of touching circles. Okay. Now in triangle PAR, in this triangle PAR, I know that segment PA is congruent to segment PR. Why? PA is congruent to PR. Why? Because they are radii of same circle. Okay. Now, therefore, I can say that angle PAR is congruent to angle PRA. Why? Isosceles triangle theorem. Okay. Again I am telling you, don't use short forms. Okay. You may lose your marks. You better write the complete statement. Let us see the next triangle, that is in triangle QRB. QRB. Again the same way we will write segment QR is congruent to segment QB. What is the reason? Radii of same circle. Okay, I'll go on to next page. So therefore, again I'll write that the base angles are congruent. That is, angle QRB is congruent to angle QBR. Why? Again write down the reason. Isosceles triangle theorem. Okay. So now let us consider this one. What we need this statement to be the first statement, because we'll need this further. Okay. And same way for this thing, let us consider this statement to be the second statement, because we need that. Okay. So now from, I'll write like this: angle PRA is congruent to angle QRB. Okay, PRA. Let us see the diagram. See, PRA and QRB. These two angles. I am talking about these two angles. Okay, they are congruent to each other by what test? Vertically opposite angles. Okay, so we'll need this also, this statement also. So we'll mark this as 3. Okay. Now from 1, 2 and 3. From 1, 2 and 3. What do we get? We get that angle PAR is congruent to angle QBR. Okay. That is, what can we say? Angle PAB is congruent to angle QBA. Why? Because R lies in between A and B. This is what is given to us. Okay. So now this is, therefore we can say that the segment PA is parallel to segment BQ by alternate angle test for parallel lines. Okay, I hope you have understood this. Now see the second one. What are we supposed to prove in the second one? Triangle APR is similar to triangle RQB. Now to show that the triangles are similar to each other, you must have any one test of similarity. And when we were solving this first example, proof, that we have already shown about the two angles of these two triangles to be congruent to each other. That is, angle A is congruent to angle B and this angle R. Okay, in both the triangles, it is congruent to each other. So these two triangles are already similar to each other by AA test of similarity. How to write? Let us see. In triangle APR and triangle RQB, angle PAR is congruent to angle QRB. This we have already shown from 1 and 3. We have already shown this. Okay. Also, angle PRA is congruent to angle QBR. Okay. This also we have shown from 2 and 3. We have shown this. Therefore, triangle is similar to triangle RQB by AA test of similarity. Okay, see the third one. They have asked you to find measure of angle RQB. See RQB, this angle we are supposed to find. If PAR is given as 35. This is given as 35. Okay. Now from 1, 2 and 3 what we have already solved, this angle is equal to R. Okay, R, and this angle is also equal to B. So it means that if this is 35, this has to be 35. Again this is 35 and this is 35. So in this triangle, suppose if I take this triangle RQB, these two angles are 35. So this angle, it is very easy to find. Sum of all angles is 180 degree. So from 180 you subtract 35 plus 35, that is 70. From 180 you subtract 70, you get 110. So what is the measure of this angle? It is 110. How to write? Let us see. I will take my next page. Okay. So what is given to us? Angle PAR. This is given as 35 degree. Okay. But from what we have already proved, from 1, 2 and 3, we know that angle PRA is equal to angle QRB is equal to angle QBR. These all are 35 degree. Okay. Let this be your fourth one. This is 35 and all that remaining what I explained you are 35. In triangle QRB, sum of all angles is 180 degrees. So I will write it down. Angle QRB plus angle QBR plus angle RQB. Okay, RQB is equal to 180 degree. What is the reason? Sum of angles of a triangle. Okay. So you already know the base angles, that is R is one angle. Okay. So that is 35 degree plus this side B is one angle, that is 35 degree plus this angle is what you are supposed to find. RQB is equal to 180 degree. So I have just substituted the values. This becomes 70 plus RQB is equal to 180 degree. So angle RQB will be equal to 180 degree minus 70 degree. That is angle RQB is 110 degree. This is your answer. Okay students, I'll take the fifth example, that is the last example from practice set 3.2 in my next module.